I'm pretty sure that you would have uninstalled TikTok and 50 other apps in order to fight the wallet war against our neighbors. That brings me to the question, why are you still learning the Chinese remainder theorem? Should I not call you out on your hypocrisy when the entire country is trying to fight and become Atmanirbhar? Numbers and modern maths exhaust every student, right? Every time you see a scary looking question on an online forum, you basically rush back to your books and try to figure out what the hell was this, right? How did he actually get into this? The problem is these questions are never asked in the CAT examination, right? CAT examination has become a level playing field for both engineers as well as non-engineers, and even engineers struggle in these type of questions. They actually get worked up about, it becomes an ego issue. How can me being an engineer not be able to solve this question on numbers? They spend a lot of time, lot of energy without really being able to understand the topic in more detail. In this session, we would break down numbers and modern maths in full detail. What are the relevant things which you should study? What are the things which you should completely avoid and not even touch when it comes to the CAT examination? Before I start, I would request you to please like this video, share this with your friends, comment on what else would you like us to do for your CAT preparation. You can reach us besides YouTube on email, WhatsApp and Telegram links, Facebook pages, Quora. All the links are available in the description of this video. Let's get started. As we have discussed numerous times, numbers and modern maths contribute to less than 20% of what gets asked in the CAT examination. If you remove progressions, indices, surd logarithms, and parts of functions, which we have already covered in algebra, then you're left with barely 10% of the questions which come up in the CAT section. Now, even within these areas, the type of questions which you need to know are actually not very difficult, right? In fact, most of the PNC questions can be actually solved if you just write down some values. It might take you more than 2 minutes to solve that question, but you will end up solving those questions. And numbers can be done by just, following the pattern, just putting up some values. You will actually get the numbers questions more often than not. So what exactly should you study for numbers and modern maths? I've broken it down into parts, a stage 1 and then a stage 2 level of mastery, right? Stage 1 will take you about a week's time. Stage 2 will probably take you a little longer. And with numbers, as we have discussed, you should be in touch with this area throughout your CAT preparation process. Now, the most basic thing which you should definitely do along with your basic arithmetic is understand the classification of numbers, how to classify it as a prime number, whole number, natural number, integer. How is the classification actually done? Is 0 a even number or not? Is 1 a prime number or not? All these questions which you should be pretty thorough with. These are questions which trip you. These are very basic questions which can trip even a seasoned sort of a CAT test taker, right? Then you need to look at place value and face value, right? Questions get asked very frequently using this. Divisibility rules from 1 to 20. The reason why I asked you to look at divisibility rules from 1 to 20 is it basically gives you an understanding of looking at maths in terms of patterns, especially numbers in terms of patterns. Besides helping you find out the remainders and whether you have that a given number is prime number or not, divisibility rules also help you in trying to identify squares of numbers or cubes of numbers very, very quickly. Next stage, related one, is factors and multiples and basic LCM and HCF concept. Understand the basic concept of LCM, HCF. Product of two numbers is the same as the product of their LCM and HCF, and that is applicable only for two numbers. Why it is so? These things, if you understand, you can solve quite a few questions pretty easily. And the last associated topic is prime factorization. How to break a number into its prime components. Very helpful topic when it comes to maths throughout all the areas. Now, once you're comfortable with this, right, probably after 2 or 3 weeks, you can look at the stage 2 sort of mastery. This is basically your LCM and HCF models. It's actually not very difficult if you remove the Chinese remainder theorem. I mean, honestly, Chinese remainder theorem is not very difficult as well. Uh, if you want to learn that, you can learn that as well. If you don't want to learn it the way it is called, basically don't fret too much about it. Just apply a few values, just write down a few numbers. You will basically understand what the LCM and HCF models are, right? Key part which people leave which people tend to neglect is the division process, right? In this, you will know the cyclicity of last digit, cyclicity of remainders. These are two things very closely related to the division process, right? Just understand that the last digit keeps on cycling because there are limited number of last digits. The remainders also keep on cycling because there are only limited number of remainders. That's all you need to understand. So you will not probably get any questions like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 goes on to 5,000 digits, and when it is divided by 1001 999. You can look at those questions when you have time, when you have reached a 95 98 99 percentile in maths, and you have to improve over there. These questions are not asked directly. In fact, even if you reach a 99 percentile, besides knowing how to manipulate this, you should not be looking at any formula or patterns as such. One point of note is there are a lot of questions which are theorems which are named on the basis of European mathematicians, like Fermat's last theorem or Wilson's theorem and all those things. They are very good to know, right? They are very lovely to know if you have enough time, if you are preparing. Like, I mean, you have already hit a 19, you're hitting a 99.5. You just want to, sharpen your edges. You want to just expand your mind. You're basically bored of doing the same type of questions or hitting a 99.5 percentile in mocks. Then you can look at those sort of theorems. But at the initial stage, don't even bother about that. They have never been asked, and there is a more than 99% chance that they are not going to be asked. Modern maths, what to study? Set theory, right? Understand elements. How do you represent the elements of a set? How do you represent a set? Venn diagram, the basics of Venn diagrams. These questions are pretty helpful when you're looking at functions also. There were a couple of questions which came up from this elements part as well. So you need to study that properly. Not very difficult. Maybe 2 days with the books is more than good enough to clear these part. Again, constant practice is what is going to help you solve these questions. Then the most scary subject, which is PNC. Right? What should you study in PNC? There are multiple things which you can study in PNC, and it can be made really, really tough. Right? The thing which I would suggest that you should learn in PNC and probability would be principles of counting, and identify when to use the NPR and when to use the NCR, or whether not to use either of the two methods at all. Right? This is the core towards understanding PNC, the process itself. If you can do this, basically 99% of your questions in maths can be done. Right? If you are comfortable with this, then you can add distribution to your armor. Right? You can probably do it at stage 2 level also if you don't want to do it initially, but at least it's not very difficult to add that. But these 4 topics are the core of understanding or doing anything in PNC and probability. And every single question which come up in the CAT examination can be answered using some application of this. Once you are comfortable with this, again, this PNC part will take you not more than a week to master. Then you can go to probability, expected value. These are things which usually come up in XAT and IIFT examination. It has not been asked in CAT for almost 10 years. In fact, I cannot find any probability questions for quite some time in the CAT QA sections. Right? Good to know basically everything else. Right? You will see a lot of questions in mocks, like spiders wearing socks, rings on a finger, number of solutions to a particular question, coefficient of x to the power n, all those sort of things. Basically, they are not going to come up in the CAT examination. Even the Bayes theorem, right, you can solve it in a slightly different manner. The conditional probability Bayes theorem is very helpful in data sciences. If you actually are studying to become a analytics manager or a business analytics or anything related to data science, basically Bayes theorem is pretty helpful. But from a CAT perspective, it has never been asked. Or even if it has been asked, you can solve it using some other methods which are available. The last thing which is mentioned over here is mathematics on vacation, right? I would like you to research this, right? It is related to the classification of functions, right? I'll give you a hint. Search for Nicholas Borabanki, right? What happens when mathematicians go on a vacation and they mess up your life? They don't have anything else to do, so they create more and more theories around this. Right. What is the application of arithmetic in this? Right. Pretty standard ratios, variation, percentages. Some time, speed, distance questions, like for example, running around a circle, also involve, use of LCM and HCF concepts. Averages uses numbers quite a bit, and we have seen that already. Both of them are very closely linked over there. What should be a mock strategy? Same as with geometry and with algebra. If you find some formula which you have never heard of, in this case, more likely than not, you can just throw it away, but still make a note of it. See if it has ever been asked in CAT. Chances will be that it has never been asked in CAT, right? You can safely ignore it. If you get time, once you have reached a 99 or 99.5 percentile or higher, then you can probably look at those formulas. But till the time you reach 95 plus, don't even think about those questions. They are not going to add any value to your CAT preparation. That completes this particular session on numbers and modern maths. And with this, we will be completing our entire series about what to study for CAT, the QA section. Right? Please do let us know if you have missed out on anything, if you made any errors. Please do let us know in the comments below. If you like our video, please do share it with your friends who are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examination. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, ask your questions on Quora, WhatsApp, Telegram. Every link is available in the description of this video. Till we meet again the next time, goodbye, stay safe, and all the best.